Well, hello there. Thank you once again, dear listener. All you big boys and big girls, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Big Boys Podcast. I want to thank everyone for the response that we've gotten from our first episode. Already doing better than I thought. We've received feedback from more than one person, which is, like years beyond success I was expecting. So yeah, we're all in. We're gonna keep doing this thing. In this episode, if I'm not mistaken, because once again it's been a number of weeks since I've listened to it, and I will go back and listen to it after this and sum it up. As I've said in the previous episode, that is the format that we're working with here. Anyhoozle, in this episode, I believe we talk a wee bit of movies. I get a little gay for Gerard Butler. That's one, if I'm not mistaken. Which, what grown man doesn't? And if they don't, well, cowboy, you better get on that saddle while you can. Because the Butler is back. He ain't going nowhere. Gerard Butler, sexy. That's all I'm saying. Also, I believe John audibly farts in this episode. Which, to be honest, the fact that it took a whole 2 episodes for that to occur surprises me more than I can obviously express. I also want to thank, from the feedback we've gotten, we've had some people that said they'd be interested in being a guest, which it's quite flattering. However, as you'll find in future episodes, it is almost impossible to keep John on a schedule. He is a petulant man-child, much like myself, and just to get him to record with me once a week is the whole heaping of shit that I have to do. But I'll tell you what we can do for you there, dear listener. If you're on Spotify or the Anchor app, there's a little button there under our podcast where you can leave us a voice message. And if you'd like, ask us any questions pertaining to our previous podcast, things going on in our lives, or whatever's on your mind. And we'll give it a listen, and hey, perhaps we'll discuss it in the next episode, or the one after that. I don't make plans when I'm saying, dear listener. But hopefully, that is what brings the magic to this podcast. Straight up motherfucking chaos. And with that said, I do indeed hope that you enjoy this next bit of chaos. With all the helpings of sweet Gerard Butler talk you can handle. John's blasphemous ass. Do enjoy. Yeah, okay, we're recording now. Yeah, dude. I feel like I'm going to have to say this at the start of every one of our podcasts. Get a fucking webcam, all right? So I can know when you're talking and when you're not.
I had a missed call. When?
So glad we were staying on topic already. Dude. Hello? Are you there?
It's December 20th. I don't know. That's weird. All right, whatever. Yeah, I'm here.
Are you... Were you literally just ignoring me to have a conversation with yourself?
No, I was just trying to read this about what it was saying about a missed call. I was like, when?
Right, but you get the concept of words coming out of my mouth trying to converse with you.
Yeah, and I heard you.
And completely ignored me.
I didn't ignore you.
Because you had to have not just an internal thought, but an external monologue with yourself.
Well, Brian.
Before getting back to me.
You're asking an awful lot here. Sometimes I have difficulty walking and chewing gum at the same time, much less,
It's the truly beautiful things in life that make you and almost break you, I think. And you, John.
All I was look at it this way. Just one day, you're going to look back on moments like that and be like, that was pretty cool. Good times. Yeah.
I'll give credit to half the statement. Good times, sure. Pretty cool. We'll leave that to our viewer or listener in this case to decide. Oh yeah, by the way, while you were having a grand time fucking laying down, and I'm over here critiquing your audio, which I'm just giving up on, by the way, because I don't know what it is, dude. It just, yeah, I hear static every time you decide to talk. But it would be nice if you had told me that I was blowing out the goddamn microphone every time I talked.
I don't know. You sound all right here.
Well, what are you listening to me through?
Speakers?
Yeah, that'd be the problem, bud. Where's your headphones at, Mr. Audio Engineer?
I didn't really feel like I needed any because I'm listening to you through my speakers.
Oh, God, wow. You were just... Advertisement right here. Hire this guy. He puts the effort in.
I did recently get a gaming headset, though. I haven't tried it out yet, though.
Dude, put on the... Well, don't do it now. We're already recording. So, if this is blown out again, and it just is.
I'll have to screw with that later. I don't know why you're hearing static. I wonder if it's some with the
I have no idea, dude. I just give up. And I only hear it when you talk. So it's like I think it's a noise cancellation thing, and you'll probably have to do that every time. But I've just accepted it as is for now, you know. When God willing.
Well, it
This
says noise cancellation is off, so I got no idea.
Well, I was gonna say, God willing, when if we ever get popular enough to where it's just more than you and me listening, and perhaps we could hire someone to edit and mix this, they could figure that shit out because I am not gonna take the time.
I wonder if it's a feedback issue.
I mean, maybe. I wonder if the moon's made out of cheese. I don't know. I'm not taking the time to look into it, is what I'm telling you. But how was your holidays, man?
They were good. How about yourself?
They were pretty good. I have things that I can complain about, and I will go into just for the sake of content. But I will say with a caveat, with those exceptions, things were great, and I'm learning to have a more positive attitude. With that said, let me tell you about my Christmas Eve. I got the only jacket that I have stolen out of the back of my work van, which now the back door locks. And to think, it only took me getting robbed for that to happen.
Well, sometimes it's just that way. It's like you would think firing live ammo at a person, common sense, right? Well, actually, that's just how the film industry used to do things in like the 30s. I don't know if you've ever heard about that. I figure as a film major, you probably have.
Yeah, that is vaguely familiar.
And it took somebody like a couple people almost dying, and I'm sure actually a couple actually dying before they were like, hey, you know what? This isn't wise.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I say when you think common sense. It's like, if you really look at history, sometimes like it really takes a pretty major action for humans to be like, oh, maybe we shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you even think if we're gonna really nerd out here, if you go back into the whole origins of theater, it was literally a ritual sacrifice.
Oh yeah.
People would if they died in the story, they would die in real life.
I mean, I guess that saves you on a special effects budget.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe. I mean, you only get one take though, so.
When I was a kid, I used to wonder that. I mean, obviously now I realize like there's rights and such a thing is called being like humane, and what did they say in the Constitution? Cruel and unusual punishment.
You just figured that out.
Why didn't they just get like death row inmates for like death scenes in movies and like if somebody needed to get shot,
All right, we're taking that one to Hollywood. That's I feel like that's Death Race 4, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's basically what I realized. So later in life, I was like, oh, that was like Death Race and stuff.
Yeah. It's fucking rollerball, isn't it?
What was that one, Gamer, with Gerard Butler and
yeah.
His name is
Logan Lerman.
No,
the kid.
Terry
Crews.
Was it? No, not Anthony Michael.
Fucking Michael C. Hall. Yes.
Yeah.
I want to see Michael C. Hall in more fucking action movies. He does a lot of character pieces and dramatic work because he's a phenomenal actor. But goddamn, that was a real treat seeing him just doing that whole dance sequence. I mean, the movie's fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
But sometimes bonkers is, as you know, is my taste.
Well, you know me, but but when that movie came out, we were like 20. Like I thought it was pretty cool. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Well, you and Chris Taylor and fucking Steven were just like fucking big old fanboys for anything Gerard Butler, So
yeah, there for a little while until he
yeah.
started doing like rom-coms and.
I'm pretty sure he came out the fucking gate doing rom-coms, man. I think he
Well,
just did everything else at the same time.
well, let's face it. Like he didn't hit like major celebrity and become on like young men's radar like us until he did like 300, and then.
Hey, I remember that.
Oh, who's this Gerard Butler guy? He's awesome.
But he was my bro since fan of the opera. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I didn't watch that.
I did in theater class.
I remember girls in high school really being into it. I didn't care.
Is this really in this? Sweet. What is the line where he's just like he's got the chick? I don't even remember who plays the woman. That's how homoerotic I am. Just remember fucking Gerard Butler. Just holding her face and just sweet music. Like, man, this has got to be what the ladies are into, right? Just like holding their face at point blank and just screaming words into them.
Only if you can sing.
Yeah.
If you're anybody else, no,
yeah. If you're Gerard Butler, I think you could swing that. Yeah.
If you can sing well and look like Gerard Butler, or more specifically, and built like Gerard Butler, then yeah, they're into it.
If you even have just half of his face, because the other half was covered up by the opera mask.
That's true.
Yeah.
It really kind of just shows how bad off we really are. Like you can literally be disfigured and like.
Yeah. If I could just have a quarter of that Butler face, life would be so much better. I'd know it. Alas.
Was that Rachel McAdams?
No, I feel like she was already too big by that time, right? Well, maybe not, but yeah, I don't think it was her. But he's really the only guy I remember from that movie, and it was kind of post 300 when I was like, oh shit, yeah, he was the guy from Fan of the Opera,
Emmy Rossum, that's who it was.
Name rings a bell. Can't put her face.
Name. I'm looking at her right here. I know the name. I'm trying to think what else I've seen her in.
Movies and sweet music.
Mystic River, The Day After Tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Fucking Mystic River. That's a good one. Yeah. I remember very little about The Day After Tomorrow. A lot of weather tropes,
Yeah, I'm not sure I ever actually saw it. I guess she sings. She's got music videos.
Oh, that tracks with her being in musicals.
Yeah, that makes sense considering. Oh, she was in Songcatcher. She played Delatus in Delatus Slocum in Songcatcher. Okay.
I'm not familiar with that, my man.
Songcatcher is an excellent movie. I found about it because of my dad, and he used to have the soundtrack. He had a really great soundtrack. Basically, I'm trying to think of the year, but maybe it was like turn of the century, like early 1900s, something like that. This woman basically goes off into like the Appalachian Mountains, kind of. Basically, as part of a research project, she's trying to like compile like a list of songs and their origins of like folk songs that have like come over with immigrants and have been basically never documented. They've just been handed down like word of mouth, generation to generation, and she's trying to document.
Yeah, no, that sounds actually pretty enticing. Yeah. I'm gonna say something stupid here, and I'm sure my parents ever hear this, they'll correct me. But I want to say that's kind of like the area that my mom's from. Is the what you spoke of there about around the Appalachian Mountains? I don't know. Is that Ohio, obviously, but like it's like near the Kentucky border. A lot of hills.
I mean, that's starting to get around like the Appalachia area.
Okay, so vaguely correct, hopefully.
Yeah. It says right here, it says, after being denied a promotion at the university, Dr. Lily Penlerick, a brilliant musicologist, visits her sister who runs a struggling rural school in Appalachia. There she stumbles upon a discovery of her life. A treasure trove of ancient Scots-Irish ballads, songs that have all been handed down from generation to generation. Oh, there we go. It cut it off. Let's see. Generation to generation, preserved intact by the seclusion of the mountains, with her goal of securing a promotion, most isolated areas. Yeah, basically to collect these songs and finds herself enchanted, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, she's basically trying to collect and document these songs that have never been recorded. They're just passed down generationally.
Now, what's the arc of this movie? Because everything that you've mentioned so far does sound interesting. I find it hard for being like a movie that your dad sought out. You know what I mean? It's not something I would particularly think of Joe Sorrells, actively looking to find, unless there's some, somebody dies in the Old West.
Well, obviously she meets someone, falls in love while she's there. I don't know. It's just a good movie.
No, it sounds like it. Yeah, I'm not judging him. I'm impressed. If anything,
I think he mainly got onto it because of the soundtrack it had. It had a really good soundtrack.
Yeah. Now, would you classify it as a musical? I mean, because
it's not a musical. If anything, it's more of like a drama.
Okay, well, there's drama in musicals.
Here's in your video, at least on my end, is like frozen.
Yeah, I saw that. We're just gonna have to deal with it, man. Because I'm not. We ain't stopping this train. It's already ran. But you know what? I might as well just go ahead and turn it off if it's not gonna work, right? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Maybe we'll catch up. Yeah, maybe. Anyways, tell me about your holidays. Did you get robbed?
No, thank God. But honestly, not a whole lot. I mean, it was I really enjoyed it. Just a simple Christmas, me, my mom and dad, and nothing too fancy. Just a simple Christmas. But something special about that. Having a little bit more simple Christmas instead of like going all out and all that.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. I cherish those more as I get older as well, And I would have loved me a simple Christmas. Not to pull out my my harp here, but as you know as well as I that I was not allowed to escape John Carpenter's L.A.
All right. Yeah. See, I was gonna ask that. It's like, what? Can you not leave the state? Like,
not right now. It's I just checked with my PO. Well, I say my probation office, not even officer yet, because I'm waiting to be assigned an officer. Right now, it's under review. The transfer is, and basically, is I'm just checking in every 2 weeks. I check in every week just because I'm a good boy. But
know that you're not like.
Yeah, it's literally just to tell them, hey, I have everything's the same. I'm still holding down my job. I'm still in the same place, and I haven't had any run-ins with the law. Great. Yeah, exactly. And so, as long as nothing crazy happens this weekend at work, which is, I'm doing my best to stay positive about that stuff. And it's good. It's consistent work, which I need. But also at the same time, I think as soon as I have ample opportunity, I got to find another job. The people on the weekends are, they're challenging. Let me just say that. Obviously I got robbed on Christmas Eve, and then it's also the other thing too is maybe it will cool down a little bit, but I've noticed because I got this job right before Halloween, and I'm noticing that particularly on the weekends that revolve around the holidays are the worst.
Oh, okay.
Because New Year's Eve and New Year's Day is just I could not. It's you couldn't escape people who are just looking for a fight, or some kind of dramatic event, and it's just dude, it's it just sucks all around. I know.
Yeah, I can imagine because it can be a pain in the butt enough going out around here, especially if you're getting closer to Fort Worth or Dallas, any of that. And it's I can only imagine being in LA.
Well, I mean, particularly the thing that happened on New Year's Day, which is really a follow-up of what occurred on New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve, I'm going into this store in North Hollywood, and this guy is like trying to look over my shoulder as I like unlock this, this building, and I got to go type in, the punch codes and stuff immediately to the alarm or whatever, so I don't trigger. So it's just like, I need my space, guy, to do this. And he's just like over my shoulder, what's up, man? Can I get a cup of coffee? And like, just thinking I'm some freaking doofus is just going to be like, oh, by all means, partner, come on in. Have a seat. Let's have a chit chat while I go ahead and type in the security code. You seem like a trustworthy fellow.
Codes? Here, how about my shirt and the fillings out of my teeth while we're at it?
Like, yeah. And so I handled that, and I hate doing it because it's also a fine line of like, I don't want to start anything with these people, and I'm not trying to like disrespect them, but like I was like as respectful as I can, just like, hey, I need you to move. I need you to give me some space, and like it's a fine line of like, like I don't want to disrespect them, but then also I can't show any fear. I can't show like, I'm afraid that they're going to steal stuff from me, because then it's just an invitation for them to steal stuff from me.
Yeah, especially if they're any kind of good at it, like, like career criminals. It's like they'll pick up on that. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and so anyways, I deal with this guy. It goes fine. And I also got to say, like, most of them are like, I hate it because it just sounds like I'm just shitting on the homeless, and I'm not. And it's a very bad situation out here, and I feel for all of them. With that said, I'm not your target. And so, he, for lack of a better term, fucks off. And that's whatever. But then I'm going back into the van, which, as I've told you, is very easy to break into. And I'm getting ready to put stuff away, and like this other guy comes up to me, excuse me. And I'm just like, I very quickly throw my stuff into the van, and like, I just, I put my hand up, like, stop, like, don't get closer to me. And I'm just like, no, I'm sorry. No. Happy New Year. Have a good night. And then I get in the van and I drive away. And then New Year's Day, like, this dude like sneaks up on me, like as I'm unloading the van. And, I gotta put all this stuff and bring all this stuff to the store. Also very easy break into this thing. The lock didn't break itself the first time around. So like, and he just like, he just comes around the corner. Like, I didn't even see him. He just like, I just heard him, excuse me. Like, boom, I turn around. He's right there. And then, and it's just like, and immediately alarmed. Right. But then also I can, like, after a second, I could tell it's just like, this guy's not like physically threatening. He doesn't have a sense of like being like a violent person, but like, he just seemed off, like, like possibly like autistic, you know what I mean? Like, he's just not comprehending, like, this is a dicey situation you put both of us in, man. It's 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And like a dark street where it's just me and you. This is a dicey situation, dude. Like, this is like this is like a divisive headline wet dream. And like, he's just like, well, you needed to know that, like, it offended me when I was trying to, like, dude, it's 2 a.m. This is not the time for civil discourse.
Yeah, and it's also not the time for you to try to like make yourself out to be the victim and like.
Yeah, and
I need a little personal space here, like,
Well, it's even more than that. Like, just like this, it was like in the kind of situation where it's like, I'm worried about your safety, guy. Yeah. Like, if I didn't have, some experience, without going too much into it, of like having maybe a family or a member or close friend, growing up, who is very much reminding me of like this type of person, and just like, dude, you cannot be doing this. Like, if this was anybody else, if like if somebody was just like already like, afraid that somebody's going to pop up around a corner, like, they're gonna, something bad's going to happen. And it's just going to be purely reactionary. And like, you can't be doing this, man. Like, you're just walking around asking for trouble. And like, of course,
you're asking to.
Yeah.
Worse, like, yeah.
And it's just like, of course, I didn't even have remote time to say that. And just like, the guy was just, he basically just wanted to let me know that I suck. And I was like, okay, great. And then we went on about our days. which is always so nice to hear as you're just trying to get through the night. And then you're caught off guard and like, fuck, is this guy about to rob me? Oh no, he just wants me to know I'm a piece of shit. Great. Like I'll finish up my job and then go to bed, knowing that. Thank you, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, it just, I don't know. It just sucks all around. It's like, but it's also at the same time, it's like, you realize like I'm a working class guy. I'm just trying to get by. Like I'm not the guy who's like, anyways, yeah. So as soon as I'm greenlit to stay in Cali, I will be looking for work other places, which obviously is going to be challenging because I got this monkey on my back of these charges that aren't going to go away until until I've completed my probation. But hey, it ain't no prison, am I right? Am I?
Yeah, it's certainly better,
Yeah,
That's kind of
exactly.
what you just need to think about every time you want to complain. It's like, oh, well, at least I'm not in the hoosgow.
That's exactly how I'm trying to train my brain. It ain't no hoosgow, buddy. You know. Oh man, we know. I was just thinking about that after we recorded our last time. It's like, man, we sound like we know so much about prison. Oh God, could not be two more ignorant dopes talking about the who scale.
Like we're hardened criminals, like yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy to me, by the way? A little change of gears here. I got to look and just while we're talking about other stuff. John Williams has only won 5 Oscars. I say only.
Wow, that was a left-hand turn for sure. What got you there?
I was on that Songcatcher page, I was on the Phantom of the Opera one, and it won some Oscars, and then that made me go back and look and see if Songcatcher won anything, and then I got to looking at movies that have won a lot of Oscars, and I know John Williams is the most Oscar nominated living person. I think the only person who's been nominated more was Walt Disney.
Mm.
But Walt Disney is also the most nominated person, or the most winning person in history. But the most winning person alive, who did it say on here?
Meryl Streep? I don't know.
No, she's definitely got a record in there too. Yeah, most awards won by a person is Walt Disney with 22. It says Alan Menken and Dennis Muren hold the record for most awards by a living person, each having won 8. So Walt Disney is way ahead of both of them.
Oh wow.
Most awards won by a woman is Edith Head for costume design.
Right on. Rock on, Edith.
For directing, it's John Ford. He's won 4 directing Oscars.
Okay. We're just going down the IMDb trivia hole now?
Yeah, I'm basically just on now I'm on the Wikipedia list of Oscar records. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have an IMDb Pro subscription, ladies and gentlemen. John Sorrells at your service. Are you just reading Wikipedia right now? Is that the silence I'm hearing?
Well, I am talking to you.
Yeah, I know. I just it's very, I mean, without
bad. I've been doing it for a little while, saying you didn't even notice.
Yeah, but I can notice when you get in too deep, when it's just straight up silence. It's when you're really harnessing your powers of attention to draw me out.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what award it was Meryl Streep has won.
The Oscars.
Oh, I know, but
I mean, leading lady and best supporting, I think, right? I think she got 2 actually.
It might be she might have the most best actress wins.
Well, either that or at least nominations.
Yeah, because I want to say Daniel Day-Lewis has the most best actor wins.
Yeah, well, that guy only comes out, only out of his cave just to get a fucking Oscar nom. So.
It says she is the 5th actor, so man or woman, to win 3 competitive acting Academy Awards. So that means she's probably the first woman, to be my guess.
Oh wow, she's won 3 of them. Damn,
that's a lot. 3 times for what? Kramer vs. Kramer, Sophie's Choice, and The Iron Lady.
Huh. You know what? I have seen none of those.
Same. Probably should put those on the list. At least Sophie's Choice. Sophie's.
Yeah.
Choice. Well, and Kramer vs. Kramer is another one you always hear like film aficionados talk about.
Yeah, I got to get back on that kick eventually. Dude, I've been meaning to, and I almost bought it on your Prime account. I want to get back on my Gene Hackman kick.
Gene,
Of dude, he's a fucking man. Um,
he's basically retired now, isn't he?
oh yeah, he's old as dust
Oh yeah,
itself.
he's up there. Well, and I saw Robert Duvall just turned 92.
Oh no kidding.
Yeah, which is insane.
God, yeah, he's another one of those guys who just kind of came out the womb looking 60. Well, I say that, but actually, no. If you look back at the Godfather, he's
Yeah, I would say Godfather Part 2. It's like I think
yeah,
he's just been acting so long and in so many things. I mean, you gotta think he's 92. He has
yeah.
been old for like 30 years.
Mm-hmm. Too fucking shay, my man. Too fucking shay.
Yeah, it says January 5th, so he turned 92 yesterday.
That was who are we always poking fun at? And sorry to say so. Um, uh, what's the guy's name who the star of Babe?
Oh, James Cromwell?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like yeah,
Now, that
like,
guy's looked old for a long time too.
yeah. As soon as he hit puberty, he became a senior citizen.
Yeah, exactly. The crazy thing is a lot of these guys are legitimately getting old. They've been old, like I said, for like 30 years, and
Yeah, but I remember like seeing like movies with James Cromwell back in like the '80s, and just like, looks like he's about to retire. He's
well,
probably like 45, you know?
well, Babe, he was only in his 50s back then. Dude, this goes down another rabbit hole I've kind of noticed for a number of years, and I've seen a few people on the internet talking about it recently. Like, people aren't aging like they used to. Think of like how your grandparents looked at 50, at like 50 versus like somebody who looks at 50 now.
Well, yeah, but then also if we're going in the regimen, like, well, sure, like people aren't aging like they used to. Miracles in modern science, um, but also if we're talking about in terms of Hollywood, like hair plugs and all, and like fucking skin cream and Botox, and whoa, let's say actually let's just go with the even most vain, the hair plugs and the Botox. That fucking changed the game on everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like I wonder, like it makes me wonder like what fucking, Sly looks all right. Like I think he what are we fucking ET Hollywood now here? This is such gross conversation. But I was
Well,
gonna
I was
say
mainly just talking broadly, like people just don't age like they used to. Like,
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I would encourage
yeah.
you to do a Google search on this because I'm not the only one who's noticed. There's other people submitting like, yeah, here were my grandparents in like whatever year, and it's like they were like 55, and then like here's so and so nowadays. Or they show pictures of like professional athletes that look like middle-aged men, but it was like, oh yeah, he was like 27 here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I also got to do is, but dude, that's also like that might just be you and me. Also, is like like my dad at 34 looked like a fucking man. My
Yeah.
dad at 24 looked like a fucking man. Like I'm
Well, I
just like,
wonder if this has anything to do with it. They've been saying that like the average testosterone level in men is going down. Like the average like even millennial and Gen Z has a lot lower testosterone than like baby boomers and
that's probably. I mean, I know that like whatever fucking macho men are probably here then and like buckle their. That's not the right term, but like turn their nose up at it. But like isn't like isn't testosterone technically like it's poisonous. It's like if you the more you have, like the less long you are likely to live. So
I
that
would have to research that. I've never heard that. I mean, I'm not saying that's wrong, but I don't know.
dude, yeah, well this is how much research I've done into that. I listened to a comic who's done research on that with other people. So this is like a third fucking, three Kevin Bacons away from hearing that. So there is like I have nothing to add to that other than listen to Shane Moss. The guy's hilarious and he talks
I
to a
mean,
lot
I can
of
understand it being
neuroscientists.
damaging if you like are taking testosterone uh supplements and you're just like overdosing, like that can't be good for the body because basically it's a hormone, and what hormones do is deliver like chemical messages to the body, and so you're basically just at that point spamming your body with like.
Yeah, but I mean, when you think about it, though, I mean that is like the main proponent of hair loss. Dudes that got way too much fucking testosterone.
Maybe, of course, they say male pattern baldness is carried from the mom's side of the family, so I don't know.
Yeah, but like, is your mom going bald? No. But also, and I don't mean to blow your mind here, I am not a scientist. I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, me neither, and I'm not going to research this a whole lot right now because, to be honest, I don't care that much. It's just, but based on a quick Google search, it says testosterone itself doesn't directly cause hair loss. However, increasing your testosterone levels can also increase your levels of DHT. Don't know what that is, but it says
that's the most we'll get out of that.
Yeah, damage to your hair follicles and speeding up the effects of male pattern baldness. So,
yeah. I am honestly impressed with that level of research you've just done there. That was, golf clap for you, buddy. I didn't expect that from you. I was a
cursory Google search,
Yeah, once you went down the fucking Wikipedia rabbit hole, I was like, whoa, look at John getting productive.
Well, man.
About trivial facts.
Now it's like I know things like, oh, I can talk about movies with most Oscar wins. Oh.
You should have said it with that voice too. That would have been far more entertaining. I would fucking tune in to E.T. tonight if the guy was like, oh, looks like Meryl Streep's up for another Oscar win potentially. Oh,
what else?
Yeah. Yeah. There was a guy putting fucking drums on his stomach. I'm in for that.
And he's up for an Oscar for scoring. Like,
yeah.
Oh man, that's good.
But yeah, so you had a nice little a quaint Christmas with the family. That's good, man. Joe make it down, or is he
No, they didn't. He's supposed to be coming back this month at some point because a lot of their stuff is being shipped to them, or I should say, most of their stuff is being shipped to them. And I guess.
Wait, what's the context?
Well, being military, so he just got restationed in New Mexico from Germany. So basically, they're moving from Germany.
I gotcha. Okay, so they're in yeah. Okay.
And so the military is shipping most of their stuff, but a lot of that, especially since it is literally coming from overseas, it's quite literally shipping. Like it's coming over on the cargo. So it takes some time, and I want to say there's various hubs throughout the country. And I think the closest to theirs is around DFW or something like that.
Well, just to put it into context, like a fucking shirt that my mom got me for Christmas, it still has not arrived, and that's from Texas to California. So I would imagine there's been some delays from overseas packages as well.
And plus, then overseas, you got to go through customs and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So they're going to be coming back at some point this month to get the rest of their stuff.
Well, good, man. That's I feel like maybe you already told me that he was already back in New Mexico, but that's good that he's back in the States. Happy to hear that. I was gonna ask you, was that your chair squeaking or did you fart? But I know the answer is both.
Yeah, actually, you're right. I was gonna say both. But yeah. Good ear.
Yeah. Well, I'm a connoisseur of your asshole noises. Can I say? Like I've been around. Ladies and gentlemen, the fucking the music this man's butt makes is something else.
Well, every man's got a talent, and that's not everyone's talent, but it's mine.
Yeah. I'm 34 years old. I've heard people fart in my lifetime, but like yours is so distinctly you. Like I've never heard anyone else like the one time that comes to particular in mind is like the one time you farted and it sounded like a dirt bike revving itself up.
Oh yeah.
Sounded like the fucking throttle got stuck and it took off. Like it was like it sounded like whatever you ate was like trying to escape your asshole. Like it was like the fucking climax of an Indiana Jones movie.
Well, that being said, we should have some pretty good ones because I'm about to make some taco meat and some beans.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Yeah.
I'm gonna cook some chicken and decided to do chicken this time instead of beef. I'm gonna experiment with it. Cook it in the Instant Pot so it's all very tender. Shred it and then season it up.
Giving our listeners a nice visual for for your oh god, the fuel that's gonna make your asshole into a harmonica.
That would be interesting.
I'm trying to think of like the best, and we got to get off of this because this is too crass and too much of our private humor. Just like the best, like you're the parts that coming out of your asshole sounds like a caveman learning a language. But
sounds like early man learning how to communicate.
Yeah, like he just drew a picture, like he just carved, something out on a wall, and he's trying to figure out how to formulate it into words.
Like he's discussing the hunt.
You're fucking gross. That's what I'm saying. Good times. Oh man. So how's yeah, well, it's been a few weeks, but it has been the holidays, so I suspect the amount of hanging out with the homies has been probably not as much, because I was going to ask you.
Not as much lately.
Yeah. You get to pop in over to Summers or?
No, it's been a little while.
Well,
I need to head over there and hang out with him. He moved further away, so it's getting harder.
Yeah, well, he's like over by the racetrack, right?
Yeah, a little bit further. I mean, he's closer to mom and dad, but I don't know. I'm looking for a job closer out there because what the heck? Oh, something outside. I just hear this loud noise. I guess there's some truck. It's like, anyway, I know that's the cool thing to do in your 30s is move back in with your parents, but the way rent prices are going, it's like I could save a lot of money.
Yeah, well, this is clearly the the cool guys fucking podcast.
Yeah.
What are we calling this again? Big boys? Yep. This is two grown men here. Just two complete grown-ups doing
grown-up things.
Yep. By the way, we got to make come up with an intro for the cast, dude. What do you should we freestyle something right now?
What are you talking about?
Well, every podcast has like a nice little, 10 to 30 second intro. And again, I'm not trying to put effort or work into this. So I'm not going to my days of making beats on the GarageBand, I think I'm retired from that, man. I just don't have the time. But like maybe if we want to do-op something right now,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I think some sort of little monologue.
Absolutely. Give me a drum beat, sir, off the stomach.
Well, I don't know.
Come on, you can do it. Believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Believe in the ball. Throw yourself.
But I don't know. So I was just thinking, what was the thing for unadulterated? Is like two grown men. It was like making little effort to change their situation or whatever. It's like.
Yeah, it sounds about the tagline. Yeah.
It's basically like just like two men, or combine that with Law and Order. Basically, what it's like. This is just two grown. Like,
yeah. Shit. I haven't watched Law and Order.
Men, or actually, we should call them big boys. This is
Yeah. Okay, so two grown men living in different parts of the country come together in order to discuss fart humor and other things that are extremely childish. Some people may call them legally adults. Here in the precinct of shitheads, they are known as big boys. Yeah, I think I'll take the shitheads out, and maybe we have something there. I don't know. Hard to say. Dude, have you checked out the unadulterated Facebook recently?
No, I haven't.
Nor have I. But last time I did, still hasn't changed. What the fuck is that guy doing with it? What did I?
probably not much. He probably bought it in the hopes that something might actually blow up. It, it's like a long shot.
Fucking sucker. Joke's on you, guy. We're lazy as shit.
Haha, we petered out. Haha. We failed. Haha, look at you.
Thanks for the $500.
Yeah.
You fucking joke. Oh, man.
It's not like it would have mattered. All that would have been, had that actually blown up, it would have been as simple as creating a new one and just calling it unadulterated official. And then.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's just the Facebook page. It's not like, it wasn't the fucking. I wonder if he has like the domain, if you put like unadulterated.com or some shit. We should check that out. But yeah, I mean, like, again, it's just the idea. Like, all we got to do is change the name. Like we already did, Big Boys. It's the same concept. It's just me and you dicking around. Can't buy that for $500, my guy. And I guess, you're right. I guess that is the case. At first, like, the way he pitched it to me, he's like, oh, I'm just a guy like with very little money or whatever. But like, I thought for sure it was just like, oh, maybe he just wants the name. Like maybe he's like selling some brand of T-shirts, that say unadulterated, like something totally unrelated. But nope.
You might have just thought like, yeah, in the off chance that this goes somewhere, I'll own the page,
Yeah.
Well, who knows? Maybe he had plans and he failed too. Who knows? Like,
yeah, maybe. Yeah. Well, he invested in us, so he definitely failed. Yeah. There's no question about that. That is a byproduct of investing in us, Hollywood. Come running. I don't know. That was a fun project, man. But, yeah, it's weird. It's like how yeah. Nothing came of it, but like weird little obscure things did, like did I show you that message of that that British dude? It was like I couldn't tell whether or not to take him seriously or not, but he like essentially it was like making jokes, like he wanted me to anyway, so let's not get too crass. But yeah, just weird stuff. People message me throughout the world.
That's kind of weird. I guess that's cool that maybe we did get seen a little bit. We did get that Fort Worth little independent filmmaker thing.
Yeah, but I don't want to burst your bubble. That wasn't too hard to get involved in that. Because you had to have was a project. But hey, if you Google it, if you Google it now, it does come up on or Google recognizes it as a project. Let me let me figure out what I'm trying to say to you, because I think I couldn't remember if I saw basically what happened is Joel and Kathy and Eric Hansen are all somewhat successful enough actors now, and where like even Google recognizes it as something real.
Oh, because they were in it, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, Google recognizes that we did a decent job casting everybody else.
Yeah, everyone else.
Yeah. These somewhat successful people are in it, and then also these two dipshits took the lead role.
That's gonna be the question. Like they get big, and it's like, whatever happened to the creators of that?
Yeah. Let's see. I'm googling it. TV pilot. Oh, let's see. TV show. Yeah. Well, it's the first thing that pops up though is us on IMDb. So that's good. That's something. By golly, we're even. How about that? We're even in front of in front of Benny Hill, complete and unadulterated.
Did Joel not do any work in 2020 or 2022? I mean.
He has. We just can't talk about that right now.
I was just saying because there's no credit for him on here on IMDb. I mean, I know.
Well.
But...
All right. Well, let's not fucking make headlines here. He's doing something. It's in development, and when it comes out, everyone's gonna be real proud of him. I'm gonna be like Danny DeVito and Hercules. It's my boy. But also, he's got plenty of friends that are also gonna be doing that too.
Good for him. Yeah,
no, I'm super proud of the guy, man. Super proud of him. That's all we can say about that, though. That is we could talk all day about how we have nothing going on and very unsuccessful, but
But we know people who are. Yeah.
Yeah, and we cannot disclose any of the info of what the stuff we're excited about for them. Oh, Kieran here is cousin Kieran, the roommate. He's got some stuff in the works. I'm excited for him. He's well, actually we could talk about this because I think it'll be released on he's doing a. I think he's doing the interview tomorrow, and then I think it will be released on the Instagram by Tuesday. And Lord knows I'm not going to have this shit edited by then. But he's doing work for the official Instagram.
Oh,
like,
good for him.
Yeah, he's interviewing athletes and stuff, and in some tiny desk situations. It's just gonna be fun content, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm excited for it, man. And he's got some other irons on the fire. So, you know, people, some people do come out to LA and do some incredible things.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, as you guys have stated before, I am usually just their good luck Chuck.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Everybody you work with gets big, but
yeah. Honestly, I don't care. Honestly, you know, that's really just my ego talking more. Like they were gonna be huge with or without me, regardless. But it is fun to say, like, yeah, they were my thing first.
I mean, then again, that depends on how much you put into the butterfly effect theory. You know, like one little thing could have drastic changes.
I would say in this case, and also in probably regards to like Deadline Hollywood or whatever the fuck we've been mentioning, just because like we were like their early project. It's not like they delved in like, oh, or they were discovered from this project. They're like, oh no, here's the list of their other credits because this other thing is the thing that they're being discovered in, and they were in like one or two other things. Yeah. And I remember fucking Joel's first manager. Who wanted him to be removed from IMDb, but fortunately, due to the integrity of IMDb's website, like it was fucking impossible for me to do that because I was going to do it for him.
Why did you want him removed from IMDb?
Well, just short answer is that guy was a douche. Well, yeah, I mean, but no, actually, the real short answer is like, you know, most like talent managers, like they want their new talent to come along, like I just discovered him out of thin air, like, you know. But most people that like, you know, have like one union thing, like one union credit or whatever that's on, like, you know, that's like their first IMDb credit, like they were probably in 15 other non-union things before that. But, you know, their manager or whoever figured out a way to wipe the slate clean. We were, I guess, just successfully unsuccessful enough to where they were like, no, this is God damn it, he must be recognized for this failed TV pilot. So
so, hey, we're clutching on our little bits of fame through him. Like, no, he was in our thing first.
Yeah, but dude, that's my point though. Is like I wasn't even trying to. I was literally just trying to see if because I don't hold my friends back like that, and you know if it was going to be, you know, like say like, oh, the guy wasn't going to fucking represent him, which that would have been a huge mistake. But like, you know, I would have been devastated, you know. But obviously that wasn't the case, and obviously he moved on to better people. But yeah, no. Well, I also kind of knew that wasn't going to work out either because I put my bio in on IMDb, and just thinking like, oh, here's a little filler, I'll change it later. You can't even edit your own bio. And it's like, I'm the one who wrote it. And it just like, if you go back and you read it, and it basically just says like, Brian Hickey graduated in 2011. We can't wait to see what the future brings. Like, I clearly wrote this in 2011, right after I graduated college.
Yeah.
It's just, sometimes, and then, yeah, also it's just like, I don't know. Like, I really feel like there's some filmmakers out here are like, well, you got to have more IMDb credits. Like that has obviously been the opposite of what I have learned. And it just kind of shows me how little those people really know about the industry of like Oh, no. The more credits you have, like the more your star meter goes up. Nobody pays attention to that shit. Like if you're in a real project, you're in a real project. You know, like I don't think only people that are, you know, thinking that's moving up are the people that are actively just like taking on, you know, 300 like crappy little video things a year.
That's kind of like what I was saying. Like, I think we had this conversation one time about like some actors that have done tons of work, and then you've had others that are like big names, like Schwarzenegger is a good example, who hasn't been in like all that many things, like comparatively, you know?
Yeah. But, you know, I don't know, man. It's not. This is also the other problem of like me. I'm very passionate about this, and I feel like this is probably the thing I could talk about with the most amount of expertise is, you know, filmmaking and acting and stuff, because it's the thing I'm most passionate in. I spent all this time at it, but also not that successful.
Yeah.
So it's just like, damn it. I don't know. It tears me up a little bit, because then some people would just like look at that and they're just like, well, I don't have the right to talk on it. But like, yeah, I've been, just because I'm not getting booked for all these gigs doesn't mean I'm not putting in the same amount of effort. It's, you know, you've heard me go on this tangent plenty of like how much I hate just being called an aspiring actor, when it's like I have all the, you know, all the other things going on that a working actor has, except I don't have the work. Get it right. I'm an unemployed actor. I'm an unemployable actor. I'm not aspiring to shit, lady, or sir.
I'm out of work. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You don't call a out of work coder an aspiring coder. A guy just doesn't have a job. Call me a bum. Don't call me aspiring.
Yeah. Call me down on my luck.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got to turn around eventually, right?
Right. Yeah. That's how casinos work, right?
Yeah. It's a numbers game. Eventually, you have to win.
Yeah, eventually.
Hey, speaking of which, you mentioned Sylvester Stallone earlier. I was gonna say, have you watched that new one on Paramount Plus, the Tulsa King?
No, dude. Actually, I just popped on the old Paramount Plus for the first time in forever, and checked out the first episode of 1883, which not too shabby.
No, I've been catching up on all that too. I went through 1883 and I'm going through 1923 now.
Yeah.
Problem is, you got to have Peacock to watch Yellowstone, so I haven't seen that yet.
What the F, man?
It's dumb, even though it's a Paramount show. I guess because that goes into basically deals and rights, like
Yeah.
Peacock, or I guess NBC, the parent company, Universal NBC.
Well, it's kind of like the freaking South Park scenario too, right?
Yeah, that's like why some of their, like the show is on what,
HBO Max. Yeah, HBO Max, and then they have one special there, and then they have what, 2 or 3 other specials on like Paramount Plus, and
yeah, you start getting into streaming rights, and I guess Peacock
yeah.
has streaming rights.
God, that's such a genius special when they do that, where it's just Randy, like, yeah, Randy just clearly sounds like a a studio head, just bashing them, Stan, but it's like, it's clearly this sounds like a conversation that like the studio heads would be having with them as the creators. But you live here.
But I thought it was good how in the future it's like everything's a plus or a max.
Yeah.
It's like, welcome to Denny's Plus or whatever.
Yeah. Denny's, Applebee's, Max, or Plus. Yeah. It's true, man. Those guys, they get it right.
How much longer before they just reinvent cable, though? Let's be honest. How much longer before somebody makes a deal, something happens where it's like, because now there's how many streaming services? There's tons.
Well, I mean, for sure, yeah, but like that kind of is what's happening. You know what I mean? Like it's, in a way, like, like HBO Max has got, they basically they gobbled up all the other like little streaming platforms that didn't make it, right?
Well,
Like
I mean,
like
I
that.
don't know, but they basically just have what Warner Media owns.
Well, I mean, think about like the Harley Quinn show we watched. Originally, that came out on like DC streaming or something or whatever, And of course,
True,
yeah, and that didn't make it. It's
I want to say that's owned by Warner Brothers in the first place.
Well, that's my point though. Is like, well, maybe you're right there, but like what I'm saying is like all these streaming platforms are eventually getting, bought out by the bigger companies, and like hell, you got Disney that offers ESPN, Hulu, and Disney Plus as a package.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and they own so much crap anyway. They also have, I'm pretty sure, a controlling interest in, actually, I think it's Hulu, yeah.
yeah, they're part of that package.
Because when they bought Fox, they got Fox's portion.
Yeah, and FX is huge on Hulu, man.
Yeah.
It's like half of their new content is like, it's like a half and half. Like, have you ever noticed that about their shows? It's like FX, and then it goes as an FX and Hulu original.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. But I mean, just looking at my head, there's like 7 or 8 like big streaming platforms. There's Netflix, Hulu, HBO, Prime, Peacock now.
I feel like Peacock's not going to make it though.
I don't know. They own some pretty big properties. I mean, that's NBC Universal,
I don't know. They better do something to their platform, man, because I tried the monthly trial or whatever, and it was like the the highest paying monthly one. It was like $11 a month or whatever.
Yeah.
And they still had ads in a movie.
Okay, that's ridiculous.
That was so ridiculous. Yeah.
And that's something that bothers me. I think we talked about this one time, is ads in the middle of it. If you're going to show an ad, show it at the beginning, get it out of the way, let that be the only one. You know?
Yeah, Paramount does that for their TV shows, which I'm sure and that one I think is, I think my parents actually pay for that one, so I'm not bitching about that. But I pay for the Netflix and stuff they use too, so it's all right. But anyways, like what I do dig about the Paramount one though is like, yeah, they put the ads on the TV shows you watch, but if you watch a movie on that platform, they do what you're saying, they'll put one in the beginning or maybe at the end, but they won't put one in the middle of the movie. Which Paramount, if you're listening, I need to be hired for starters. But also, good on you, Paramount. Good on you.
But there's so many now, and that's not even counting like the smaller ones like Tubi and Crackle and stuff that I don't know how many people really use,
Well, I think Amazon's trying to swallow those up too, or at least, put those other ones out of business with they got the freebie.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. This is the kind of shit that me and you were going to be talking about when we're old men on the porch, right?
Yeah.
It's just a battle of the streaming wars with a fucking piece of straw hay as we're rocking back and forth on our rocking chairs. God, we live exciting lives.
Like everybody also has their own, too. There's like AMC Plus, Discovery Plus,
Yeah, but again, I don't
those
see.
Can be rolled into other things because they're usually
Yeah.
owned by a larger parent company. But
for sure, man. Yeah, I think they are going to eventually get rolled in. That's my point. But just get it together, Peacock. I miss SNL so much now, is because they used to also come on Hulu all the time, but then Peacock happened, and now it's just I'm not gonna pay SNL. It's basic, I mean, it's not basic cable, but it's whatever, it's NBC. You don't have to pay for NBC if you watch it on cable. I mean on regular television. I mean, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, you can get it through your cable provider or whatever,
Yeah, well, you don't even need a cable provider. If you don't have cable, if you just have regular ass TV, like it's 1970, whatever, like when it came out, it came with, as long as you had a TV hookup, you can watch SNL. But now it's just I'm not paying to watch SNL. I know these times are a-changing, but come on. Some things you just don't mess with.
I'm honestly surprised Hulu's got less subscribers than I thought. I'm kind of looking at some of these now, and it has 20 to 49 million subscribers. Oh, okay, here's their exact number, 47.2, which is not shabby at all. But that's still less than Paramount has 46 million, but I guess they're partnered with Showtime. So Paramount and Showtime together have a total of 67 million.
Hold up. You can watch Showtime shows on Paramount?
You have to subscribe to the add-on, but yeah.
Oh, F that.
Yeah. Or subscribe to the Showtime app, I guess.
Yeah. I don't even know why I'm worried. I have no time for watching as much TV as I did before. I'm doing all this extra work. I just got done doing my my 4th step today, which that was that was a load, but I got it done. I got it off the old chest.
Of course, look at this too. Peacock basically has their fingers in two, or their hands in two cookie jars right now, because they still own some portion of Hulu, Comcast, and NBC Universal, but they also have their own Peacock. So Comcast has their hands in two cookie jars right now.
It's the Comcast way, buddy. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's their slogan, isn't it?
And then there's a whole bunch of these in here that I'm reading. Okay, let's not forget Apple TV. That's getting pretty big. They've got some pretty big projects on there.
I mean, do you ever just hear our conversations and wonder, like, hey, would this be entertaining for an audience as we're recording it?
The last couple we've done, I thought were all right. This one, a little all over.
Yeah, no, I think the last one was a little all over too. But that's what you get. All right, let's try ending a. Let's take another stab at now that we have like one take under whatever metaphor I'm trying to use here. We got one take in the can. Let's try doing another one for our intro here as we do an outro, okay? Because I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open, like, I'll just do one with like a little opening. Hey guys, thanks for listening. This is what me and John are about to talk about, and a little disclaimer about how the dumb shit that we might have said during this conversation, don't take it to heart. We're idiots, you know, like i.e. talking about prison. We have no idea what the fuck we're talking about. But anyways, then I'll, you know, hit him with the intro track. So let's take another stab at this intro track, and then we'll call it a day.
Yeah.
Ready? Drop that beat, dog.
Wait, you're gonna try and like rap something?
No, but it's, you know, it's nice to have something musical in the background. Jesus.
Should I?
Whatever the question is, the answer is yes.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Hold on.
Anticipation's killing us. Okay, nope, don't do that. We don't have the rights.
What's that?
I said don't play that any more than 3 seconds. We don't have the rights. So
yeah. Yeah.
All right. And the adulthood justice system, there are two types of adults. Ones that are actually adults. The other, men children. This is a podcast where two dum-dums talk about pretty much anything and everything and record it for an hour. You're listening to Hit 'em with it, John.
What?
For fuck's sake, say the name of the podcast.
Oh, Big Boys.
And we're out. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, man.
I didn't know what you wanted. All right.
I'll talk. That was perfect. It was the epitome of what the fuck.
I'm trying to think of something like just doing like a disclaimer. It's like viewer discussion divide. It's like, this is a conversation between two idiots. It's like, we cannot stress that enough.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? Take 3. Here we go. This is a conversation between two men children who are uneducated in most aspects of their conversation. Please be aware that pretty much everything coming out of their mouths is just pure idiocracy. This is the Big Boys Podcast with Brian Hickey. And
it's like, we cannot stress that enough. It's like, you were about to listen to the ramblings.
Dude, come on, take 4. Don't just say you. Okay, all right.
Wait, what am I supposed to say at the end?
You just literally rambled when we had a perfect take.
I thought you were done.
Dude, we have done improvising. Yeah, but I said Brian Hickey and then you just conversed.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I thought you just said your name. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, that is my name, Brian Hickey.
I know, and I thought you were done. That was the point.
Okay. Take 4. You're listening to the ramblings of two idiotic men children. Please be advised that anything and everything they are talking about, they are most definitely uneducated in all aspects of the conversation being had. Please ignore my roommate walking through. I think he is going to take a large dump. We'll let him do that. You're listening to the Big Boys Podcast. Damn it. All right, take 5. Did you hear him moseying about?
Yeah, but I thought it was fine.
Yeah. Okay. Well, of course you did. All right.
It added an air of realism.
Yeah. I'm doing my best not to edit anything. Okay? So let's make a perfect take and let's call it a day. Okay?
Sure.
All right. You're listening to the Big Boys Podcast. Please be advised that anything and everything these two dipshits talk about is just that. Two dipshits talking. They are uneducated and unaware of how stupid they are most of the time, when speaking, recorded, or otherwise. Please listen up, enjoy, and take none of this seriously or use any legal action against them. Once again, this is the Big Boys Podcast, starring Brad Hickey and
John Soros.
All right, that'll do it. I think I'll use 10 seconds of one of those.
Okay,
yeah.
Sure.
All right, man. Let's do this again. All right.
Okay.
Later, bud.
All right, bye.
Okay.
Well, hell. How about that for an episode, huh? Gotta be honest, not really sure what to talk about. We covered a significant portion of topics. None of them I thought were really too relevant into the regards of what's happening in our lives or in the culture or world around us. Just a whole heap of goddamn gibberish. And that's what you'll get here, big boys and big girls. Just a whole helping of nonsense. Recorded for an hour. Delicious, isn't it? I think the most important takeaway is that, though I believe we counted 5 different takes of us trying to come with some intro of some sort, I used 10 seconds of not a single one of them. Because I've reiterated time and time again, dear listener, I am not planning to put much effort at all into the thing that you're listening to right at this moment. And isn't that magical? Isn't that sweet? Isn't that endearing, knowing that I do not care about how this is received? Well, perhaps that's a lie. Perhaps I do indeed care about how this is received. Just not enough to where I'll make a change to where if it is received poorly. I want to thank all of you once again for tuning in. What a ride it has been. And please, do remember, if you're curious, and that cat's got your curiosity, why don't you go ahead and touch that voice message button? Give it a little tap. Let us know what's on your mind. And like I said, perhaps we'll get back to you. Or perhaps not. And you'll just have to deal with it. But I think we're going to lean more into perhaps we will get back to you. Because we are starving for some sort of format. Much like my voice is constantly starving for some form of sentence structure as I mumble and stumble my way through life. Once again, dear listener, thank you so much for tuning in. I have been Brian Hickey. John Soros, well, he's been John the Great. Whether he's sitting up or lying down, he'll give it to you straight. No, wait. Como se llama hermana? Lo siento, Pelopinto. Good night, Los Angeles. Good night, Dallas, Fort Worth. And good night, world. Ta-ta, farewell. And all other forms of goodbye. Well, we'll talk to you on the next episode.